What's going on, everybody? My name is Nico, otherwise known as Nico All Powerful. You probably knew that, though, because you're on my YouTube or Twitter watching this right now. Or I'm going to post this to Patreon, too, because it's kind of a Patreon update. So, the reason I'm making this video, since I haven't made an update kind of video thing in forever, is because I am streaming again from 8 a.m. to noon, so 12 p.m. Eastern time. And then I'll take a break for a couple hours and come back around 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you're wondering what time that is in your country, just put in 8 a.m. Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight Time. Pretty sure either way you'll get the right number. And then to wherever you're at, like something GMT. But yeah, should be pretty easy to figure out, and hopefully you can make it to one of those times, because I would love for more people to hang out. This is just a fun thing I'm doing, playing a lot of Destiny recently, and I figured, why am I not just streaming this? Because then I'd have a little more fun. I mean, playing the PvE in Destiny isn't boring in my opinion. That's one of the reasons why I like it so much, is because I like it a lot, but it's really chill, so it's really easy to maintain a conversation with chat while doing it. And then, you know, funny things happen, like you get launched into space on accident because something spawns underneath you and it just skyrockets you. So, you know, hang out, have a good time. Hopefully you guys come hang out. It started this Monday. It's currently Tuesday night. The morning streams have been doing better. If you're one of the people that hangs out in the morning, awesome. If you're somebody who's lurking at night, cool. I appreciate it a lot. I just, you know, wish we had a couple chatters, that's all. But other than that, this is also a video to update you guys on the Patreon and the podcast. So the Polishing Podcast, as you know, I have continued it without Pixelated Apollo. There's no bad blood there or anything. He just couldn't commit time to it anymore. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep doing it. Launched to Patreon to help fund it, and we are over that. So, like, we're not over that, but like we're over the amount it takes to keep the podcast hosted on Podbean, which is awesome, because that means every month I'm not, you know, paying out of pocket anymore. I'm actually making a little money on the podcast, which is nice. The reason I'm making this video is to update you guys about that, but also the $5 tier is getting an update. And before I talk about that, Allie is going to be my new co-host, because now this is the pretty exciting part. I got her own. Boom. So she'll have one over here, so that way, you know, she'll have a microphone. And I got the XLR cable, the shock mount, all that stuff, and my sound thingy. I can't remember what this thing is called. It already has a port for 2 XLR cables to be recorded through it, so it's really good for like an amateur podcast setup. Honestly, it's the Behringer, I think UHC 2020 or something. I don't remember off the top of my head. If you want to know, just ask me, and I can look it up on Amazon. If you're ever thinking about getting into podcasting and wanting to use XLR mics and not USB mics, but anyway. So all that stuff's going to be here by the end of the week. Latest, it should be Thursday. And yeah, then we'll be able to do the podcast together. And the cool thing is, since I have my webcam up right now, is that we're going to be able to do a video podcast portion. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make a video podcast as well. So that way you guys can see us talk and laugh at each other, and, you know, all those have like serious moments where we're like, oh my God, this is really serious and stuff like that. It should be really fun. I've got little things that we can fuck around with, like a little Charmander and stuff like that, you know, just to make each other laugh and all that stuff. But that is going to be Patreon exclusive. And if you're upset by that, I understand, but also it's a little more effort to make a video podcast, have a little more, like, you know, I can edit in bits or like references. That way people understand them better. Put little like things in there, like subtitles or something if I need to. But yeah, that's going to be the $5 tier. So the $1 tier is still available if you just want to, you know, show the podcast a little love without having to, you know, like, you don't get anything out of it, unfortunately. It's more just, hey, here's some, like here's $1 a month. So that way I can show support to the podcast, which I would appreciate a lot. But if you don't do it, that's fine too. None of this stuff is, what's the word? Mandatory. The podcast will still come out in its regular audio format every week, as it has been doing for the past couple of months. That's not going to change. It's just this update is so people who want to support the podcast have more reason to, really. and I get to do something a little more fun. Oh, I bought lights so that way I can actually light myself instead of being really orange like this. This is the webcam doing its right light thing, so it's like corrected. I'm very orange. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really look natural at all. And if I were to turn it off, you would see like half my face is cast in shadow because of the source. The light source is directly above me, all that stuff. But yeah, so gonna have a light, gonna have a video podcast format. And yeah, that's going to be the $5 tier. That's getting an update. That's the one where you also got a shout out and you got the podcast early every week. But yeah, I hope you guys maybe think about joining the $5 tier. I hope you guys appreciate that I'm doing that. If you want to see it, then I would, obviously come over to Patreon, patreon.com/polishingpodcast. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this little update and stuff. And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and that's all I got to say, really.